Welcome back.
We're back.
It's the Weekly Dog Sports Betting Podcast Show. It's your boy M.Scott, the man Russian.
And I'm E-Solid, the man Taylor Street.
Yeah, so, man, it's been a lot going on in the NBA. iHeartHoops this season too.
iHeartHoops.
Man, I've been waiting for this moment a long time. So I'm not going to really pause you out. You know, I'm just going to let you know we got some pretenders out here and we got some contenders out here. So the question I'll pose right now is Minnesota and OKC pretenders, right? So if you check out the odds on the book, on the duel or MGM Grand, whatever, you're going to see for them to win the Western Conference outright, each team is plus 800. So it's like 8-1 odds for them to win the Western Conference outright. They got teams like the Clippers, teams like Denver with better odds than Minnesota, better odds than OKC. So that show you right there off top that, man, these two teams are kind of pretenders. I'm going to get into Minnesota first. Like, really ain't rocking with Minnesota at all. Karl-Anthony Towns, mouth sauce at best, real weak, real soft. Anthony Edwards got a lot of heart, you know, he can ball or whatever, but big game, he more into the show. He ain't really into the love of the game. If he was really into the love of the game, he'd probably be averaging a little more than he averages because he got the natural ability to really just bust things wide open. Rudy Gobert, man, he a good center and all, but I'm really not into the Rudy thing. So plus 800, you know, they odds is where they need to be. Now, if you're looking for a future where you like, okay, this team already got the lead, you know, they the number one team in the conference, the number two team in the conference, then in Minnesota, you could probably hop on that bandwagon and you could possibly coast because they got good leadership in Mike Conley. He a great leader. He keep the ship together. The bench is solid. The team is okay, but I think they more so middle of the pack. I don't think they elite class in the West. OKC, same thing. OKC is cool. They got the Williams brothers. They got your boy Shea. He been killing. He got the mid-range on lock. What can you say? Shea got the mid-range on lock. He's second in the league in scoring. You know, they got Chet. He contender for Rookie of the Year, but in big games he just kind of disappeared. Giddey was going through a lot of off the court troubles. So we're not gonna go throw dirt on his name. We understand it is what it is. But he was kind of probably distracted. Doink is playing solid D. He like an undersized, like he remind me of like an 80s player like Dominique Wilkins' brother, Gerald Wilkins. He Doink around like Gerald Wilkins. He can come in against you 10 and 5, but he really just in there to play some D. And I don't really see him stopping a player like Murray or a player like Paul George or, you know what I mean, some of those elite players, Stephen Curry. I don't see them really stopping. So OKC plus 800, I feel like that's a wash. I don't see them having the best record in the league. I think teams are going to really start to catch up to them and key in with them going down the stretch because they really just don't have enough muscle. They don't have enough big men. They don't have the power to really pull it off to finish first or second in the Western Conference. So both of them teams I feel like going to be middle of the pack.
So those are teams out that's pretenders to you.
Those teams are pretenders.
Those pretenders to you.
Yeah,
okay.
Pretender teams.
Okay.
OKC, Minnesota definitely pretenders. The odds say they pretenders plus 800. Now, contender teams that really can contend. I got two teams that can contend. They both in the Eastern Conference. I'm going to kick it off with Boston. Boston, nice team, solid. Best team, one of the East top 5 teams, you know. Yeah. He had a couple of good teams in his top 5. He had a couple of bad teams I disagree with in his top 5. Got to keep 100, you know.
Respectable. It's okay.
Yeah, so Boston, they plus 110. They the favorites to come out the East.
Okay.
Really like that pick. Really love Boston. You're looking for a solid future. You trying to put together a future parlay. I really like Boston. Boston, man, just off-season work. Put in lots of work in the offseason. They brought in 7-footer. Can't think of his name. Y'all know I be messing up the names, but y'all know what I'm talking about. He been bounced around from team to team. He was in Dallas for a minute. He got drafted by New York. but he might have found the home. He was in Washington, might have found the home in Boston, at least for the season of his championship run. Point guard, they brought in Holiday, so they had to really shore up that defense, so they did that. They brought in Holiday. So with him and White at the 1 and 2, like, man, the defense Boston got is really hands down the reason why I really like them to come out in the Eastern Conference, because I really love the defensive setup. Brown, Tatum, you know, they just got it. They just got it down pat. I don't really see a team really taking them out in the East. It's going to be a dogfight. They learned a lot. The only weakness I really see in this team is the coach. Last year, the coach struggled under pressure in the playoffs. This year, I don't really have a lot of faith in his game plan. He ain't proved it to me that he really can think and strategize with the elite minds as head coaches in the NBA. Second team. A lot of people going to disagree with this and not going to like this team. But, hey, what can you say? I got to say Milwaukee Bucks. Dame time. The All-Star game we talked about earlier, it was just a prelude about what's going to happen. They giving you the prequel about what's going to go on. Giannis and Dame finna get on the same page. They finna come back. Boston really may have to worry about that Milwaukee team. Now, they lost a lot of defense when they gave up Holiday, but it's something about magic with Dame, and Giannis can do it all, rebound. He hitting free throws. He taking a long time at the free throw line, but he making them count. Odds for that play right there, that future, plus 320. Plus 320 it's a good bet, because I feel like, man, they gonna stonewall. I see them with a good at least 8 to 10 game winning streak left in them right now. I think Boston got maybe another good 6-7 game winning streak, but I think Milwaukee might put together a couple of winning streaks because they struggled going into the All-Star break. So those teams right there, they're my real pretender teams, and they're my real contender teams. Now, who's hot? Who's cold?
Wait, before you get into who's hot and who's cold,
right?
I just gotta say about your contender teams. I'm liking both of them. I mean, obviously that's Boston is already favored, but Milwaukee, they've been sliding a little bit. But I do feel the same way you feel that they should. This second half, they're one of the teams that I feel like should become like a top number 1-2 team in the NBA because of the players they have, and I think that. Well, after what we just seen Dame just do, Doc just coming around, that's a great one, especially at plus 340. You can't beat that.
Plus 340 is solid. Doc Rivers, I mean, he a coach's coach. You know, he bounced around a lot of teams. They don't really feel like he can get it done. I feel like a team like Milwaukee, he can get it done because when it come down to strategy time and it come down for him to do his job, he a blue collar Chicago guy. He gonna get the job done, and the players he can't play for the players. They gotta play, and they solid team.
It's not just Dame and people keep thinking it's just Dame and Giannis. It's not that.
It's not. The homie Chris Middleton, like he gotta really get his act together. He been hurt. He really don't want to. He kind of like don't want to get a shine up to Dame. Like I've been saying on the court, his body language, his attitude towards Dame.
He kind of like a Levine to me. He kind of remember they play better without. I feel like they play better without Middleton anyway. Like, if he could just sit back and relax with Levine and let them just sit, I feel like they'll prosper them because Bobby Portis, he's still coming in doing his thing. You know, you still got the shooters, Patrick Beverly there now. Like, you know, you still got the big fella.
Still, if they want to make a real championship run, I feel like they need Chris Middleton to come around and be that defensive player. Like, you need a 3-4 with size in the East, and he got that size because one person got to stick Brown and one person got to stick Tatum. And without Middleton, you know what I mean, it's going to be hard for them to contain Tatum. They got Crowder, actually. You know, but Crowder old and buried on the bench. He do his job.
He got more defense than Middleton, though, at least. Like,
yeah, I know.
Middleton ain't played no. When the last time Middleton played some defense?
When they won a championship. You know what I mean? And they trying to get back the championship for him. That's why I feel like he the key player. If he come around and he ball, they can do it. If he stay in his dress, then they can't do it. But let's get into who's hot and cold, though. You know what I mean? Hot and cold. Going into the break. Let's see. Going into the All-Star break. I'm going to start off with the hot teams. Boston. Keeping the trend going. Nice transition. Boston won 6 straight games going to the All-Star break. Blowing teams out. Tatum and Brown getting a good rest going to these games because a lot of these been double-digit leagues, so they've been on fire. So if you're looking for some good spreads to take, good teams, some money lines to take. You putting together them 3-team parlays. Make sure you roll with Boston. Another West Coast team, Dallas. Dallas going into a break. They went into the All-Star break with. They went to the All-Star break with. They went to the All-Star break with 6-game winning streak. Dallas been playing pretty good. Luka and Kyrie Irving was able to put a couple of stretches of games together down the stretch. They won some games. They both did some incredible things. So really looking forward to Dallas keeping that camaraderie and that energy together and making it happen. Who's been cold? Teams to bet against. I gotta say Washington. They ain't number one on the list. Washington definitely number one on the list because Washington, they went into the break on an 8-game losing streak. They lost 8 straight games. So if you're betting against Washington, you taking whoever Washington play on the money line, it's a solid bet. You got to roll with Washington. You got to roll against Washington. They really can't get it together. Poole don't know if he hooping or dreaming. He been in the mix. Kyle Kuzma in no man's land. They traded away what little pieces they do have. They up in the air. That's easy money every week. I see them going on a 12, 15-game losing streak. That's Macro approved. You can put that in the books. You know what I mean? Bet against Washington every week. Another team that's been ice cold, Portland. Scoop. He been really disappointed. You know what I'm saying? They got rid of Dame in another direction. Scoop been disappointed. Jeremy Grant really thought he'd get traded during the deadline. You know, I thought he was going to get traded during the deadline. He was balling hard, doing everything he could to get traded, but no team really wanted. The Bulls really should have made a move to bring him over to Chicago, but we couldn't do it. We couldn't pull it off. So he in basketball purgatory over there in Portland, along with Sharif. That's my man's out there. He been balling hard. Like, Portland got good players, they got bad players. Chauncey Billups, you say Chauncey Billups.
At some point, we got to talk about him as far as him not reaching his expectations. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, like they was getting to a certain place, but now it's for like, you know, it's time to become one of those teams that just don't win games no more.
They are teams that don't win games. They haven't made the playoffs.
Chauncey.
Yeah,
watching you.
This is his second year. He had 1 year with Dame. Dame left, so this really his second year. So it wouldn't be quite fair to pass all of that blame to Chauncey Billups because he was handed a wounded team. He tried to get the work out, but next year, boy, you on the clock. Your feet is on the fire. But Portland, Washington bet against those teams. Boston, Dallas bet with those teams. Moving forward, those are teams. Those are my hot teams for the week. Man, we're going to see how we play out. We're going to get some money. But this is our Hoops edition. I'm M.Scott, the man Russian.
I'm E-Star, the man Taylor Street.
And this is the Weekly Dog Sports Betting Podcast, Season 2, Spaceship. We out of here, baby. Come get us.